There's a guilt that no one can look after them like you can, no one knows them like you do, you're the only one that can do it. Luke had an accident. He was in the car with my father when he was 11, I was 13, and a lorry crashed into the car which killed my father and gave Luke massive brain injury as well as breaking his right leg, and he also became blind in his right eye.
James was 19 when he had his road traffic accident, so it was my son Joseph who accepted the call on the landline from friends of James, and then it was through those friends that we were talking to the paramedics at the scene, and it was clearly very serious.
Lucy was 2 weeks short of her 25th birthday when she sustained her brain injury. She'd gone travelling in Australia. She was 8 weeks into a 10-week trip, and she was on a viewing platform when she fell 20 metres and sustained multiple injuries, but the most serious was the brain injury.
They turned off his life support to see if he could breathe, and he did, which was amazing. And then he went to Warwick Children's Hospital. He was there for quite some time, in and out of comas really. The first words that he said were, "I want Sarah," which is me.
Lucy was in hospital in Australia for 3 months, flew back, and she was then in hospital in England for a further 10 months. And then when she was discharged from hospital, she went to a care home in Dudley in the West Midlands, which was a 150-mile round trip for us.
Well, I had 2 other sons here as well. Joseph was 17 when James had his accident, and Sean was 14, so they were incredibly traumatised.
Before Mum died, I was involved with Luke, but not day to day, and then when she died, I then became involved day to day, and I live 100 miles away from my brother. It's really hard.
And when you get tired, you are unable to cope. And mothers will realise that, well, they'll all remember what it's like with a newborn. And you sleep when they sleep, that's it.
We have a busy work life, and trying to run a business and look after my brother was just phenomenal.
I didn't know who to go to for help. I just thought this is what happened. This is how it was. And the litigation was a long way away.
We had been advised in the process of getting expert witnesses for the claim that it would be sensible for us to appoint a case manager. When the compensation monies came through, that was the first thing we did. After a selection process, we chose CCMS, who stood out from the other candidates.
Crucially, we secured 24-hour support funding from the local government, so that was really important. With tons of support from Nicola and Sam, Luke's lovely support worker, and now Kelly, we moved Luke back into his own house.
They were instrumental in getting Lucy into her own home in 2019, and it was because of their support and encouragement it gave Kate and I the confidence to know that it was the right move for Lucy and that it could actually work.
On move day, Nicola was there, Sam was there, they came to help me. They were like my little support team, so they came to support me as much as Luke, which was amazing.
CCMS encompasses a group of people who have enabled me to be able to live life more fully because of the confidence I have in the people.
Lucy responds extremely well to her support team, and they've been fundamental in achieving the progress we've seen in her rehabilitation since she's been in her own home.
James has his own expectations of what he wants. I think the main way CCMS have helped him is managing those expectations and channeling those expectations into what he can do.
With Nicola, Sam and Kelly's support, Luke has lost 5 stone. He's actually lighter than when he was before he went in, which has improved his mobility 100 times. He's fitter. He's now got this amazing PT who has got experience with brain injury, and she trains him every week, so he's getting stronger.
I'll give an example of rowing. He'd never done it before, apart from the rowing you do in a gym, and he turns out to be very good at it. And what's helping him in his brain injury is the coordination required to do it.
Well, Lucy's made enormous strides since CCMS have been involved, so they've encouraged her to expand her horizon, so she's become interested through Silver Studios in painting, in photography, cooking. Don't try the onion cake. And all these extra activities, she's just taken to them and fully engaged with it all.
Having the right people just enables you to, well, enables Luke to have this level of independence that he's never had before, but it also has given me my independence back. So I think before I was more of a carer, and now I feel like more like his sister, and that's a great place to be.
We don't feel any inhibition in raising any subject with CCMS or the case manager.
CCMS, Nicola, Sam, Kelly, all the team enabled me to go out and do what I wanted to do. So last year I went and did my yoga qualification, so I did it over 6 months. Nicola and the team always knew when I was doing it, so they made extra efforts to make sure everything was right for Luke during that time, so that I could just get my head down and get on with stuff, which was amazing.
Have CCMS help James doing what definitely in the early days would have been said was impossible? The answer is yes, they have. And it's with great thanks, yeah.
And I can't tell you what a relief that was to have people that helped and to take the burden off a little bit. But what's really important is that Luke's living his best life. He has got such a busy schedule. He hasn't got time for me anymore, and that's an amazing thing. He's never there. I can never ring him.
If families have an option to accept professional care, I would say go for it, but try to ensure that the support you're being offered is tailored to your needs. And if you can do that, it can be life-changing for the whole family.